Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So greatly appreciate it. Before we start, let me give you my usual disclaimer that this video is for educational purposes only. Please do not take what I say as fact. Please always do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Next, if you have not liked, subscribed, or commented yet, please consider doing so. It really helps me out and I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's start. 27-year-old Lauren Giddings was born on April 18th, 1984 in Laurel, Maryland, to parents Bill and Karen Giddings. She had two sisters, Caitlin and Sarah. She graduated from Fulton High School in 2002, where she played field hockey and softball. After graduating high school, she moved to Georgia so she could attend Agnes Scott College, where she graduated with a degree in political sciences and a minor in religious studies in 2006. After graduation, she moved back home to work for the National Center for Public Policy in Washington, D.C., before deciding to pursue a law degree in 2008. Lauren began her law journey at Mercer University School of Law, where she was the president of the Federalist Society. She would graduate from Mercer on May 14, 2011, with a Juris Doctorate degree. After graduation, Lauren would decide to remain in Macon, Georgia. Lauren was described as sweet, understanding, and loving. She was a free spirit, loyal to her friends and family, kind-hearted, and accepted others for their faults without judgment. She was the first in her family to attend college. She was driven, enthusiastic, and ambitious. She had initially planned on going to med school, but she would end up having a last-minute change of heart and decide that law school was more suitable for her. Lauren lived at Barrister's Hall, which is an apartment complex that specifically caters to law students at Mercer College. One of her neighbors was a man named Stephen McDaniel. They had actually both moved there the same week in August of 2008. Stephen was born on September 9th, 1985 to parents Mark and Glenda McDaniel in Lilburn, which is a suburb of Atlanta. Stephen was described as extremely intelligent and someone that had a large range of interests, including puzzles, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and reading, especially history and adventure books. Stephen was obsessively neat, something that started in grade school and followed him into adulthood. He was always careful to make sure that everything was neat and in order. He sang with the Atlanta Boys Choir until he was 13 years old, and after this, he traveled around Georgia, restoring places of worship. After he graduated high school in 2004, he received a scholarship to Mercer University, where he majored in business. After this, he decided to go to Mercer Law School, where his path would meet up with Lauren Giddings. He would end up being in the same starting class with her. She had dreams of a career as a lawyer, and he had dreams of a career as a federal judge. Lauren and Stephen were both part of the Federalist Society at Mercer throughout their entire law school career. And during their final year, Lauren was elected president of the society and Stephen was elected vice president of the society. One member of the society describes Stephen as very dependable. Most people described him as lanky, wild, unkempt, and disheveled. Lauren found that Stephen was a little strange, but she was always nice and polite to him. They weren't friends per se, but they were neighborly. Stephen had actually asked Lauren out a few times after they became neighbors. She always let him down easy, and even if she wasn't interested in him, she had the perfect excuse because she was in a relationship with a man named David Vandiver. David was a lawyer in Atlanta, and the couple had met in 2007 when Lauren was 23 and David was 43, give or take. David and Lauren clicked almost immediately. They had so much in common and a similar sense of humor. Their 4-year anniversary would have been in the fall of 2011, but sadly, Lauren would not make it to that milestone, or the other ones in her future. She had plans to move in with David after she passed the bar exam. In May of 2011, Lauren and Stephen both successfully graduated from Mercer Law School. So all they had left to do in order to practice law was to pass the Georgia State Bar. Mercer law students, and I'm sure other law students, spend the month of June, MIA, basically, as they are locked in their rooms studying for arguably the biggest test of their careers, if not their lives. Lauren made it clear to friends and family that if she did not respond to text messages, calls, or emails during this time, that it's probably because she was studying, and she would definitely get back to them when she could. The last time friends say that they saw Lauren was on Saturday, June 25th, 2011. The night prior, Lauren and her friends had went out to a bar for some music and drinks. Then Lauren crashed at her friend's house before leaving in the morning. After leaving her girlfriend's home, she headed down to the Macon County Country Club to go swimming. At around 6:30, she grabbed some fast food and she went back to her apartment. The last person to speak to Lauren that night was her boyfriend on the evening of June 25th, 2011. He was in California on a golf trip at the time. Lauren had written him an email that spoke about how she had just had a very awkward conversation with a friend who was asking a lot of questions about her and David's relationship. The one part of the email that raised alarm bells for him was when she wrote about how she believed that somebody had tried to break into her apartment. But the way she wrote the email led him to believe that she was not overly concerned about it. My theory is one of three things. This is completely my theory. Either she believed that it was her college friends messing with her, she was indeed scared, and she failed to make that come across properly and clearly in an email, or she was scared, but she did not want to let him know that because he was in California at the time and there was really nothing, wasn't really a whole lot that he could do anyway. After nobody had heard from her for a few days, Lauren's friends and family become concerned. Her childhood friend Katie was the first person to blow the alarm bells on Wednesday afternoon, June 29th. Lauren's sister Caitlin called a law school classmate and good friend of Lauren's named Ashley, and she asked Ashley to go over to Lauren's apartment and knock on the door. When Ashley got to the apartment, she saw that Lauren's car was parked outside, but the door was locked and there was no answer. Wednesday evening, Lauren's other childhood friend, Lori, who was living in Chicago at the time, called police to file a missing persons report. Officers went over to Lauren's apartment at Barrister's Hall, but there was no sign of forced entry and everything seemed to look secure. Then her friend Ashley remembered that Lauren kept a spare key outside. So she and a few friends decided to go over to Lauren's apartment and let themselves in. Once inside, they are immediately alarmed because Lauren was not in the home, but her keys, purse, cell phone, and laptop were there. Her cell phone was dead, so they plugged it in. They realized the last time Lauren had made any calls or sent any text or emails was on Saturday night. At some point during the search, Lauren's neighbor, Stephen, decides to come by. Her friends would later say that they found his presence to be weird while he was there. At this point, friends decide to call 911. It's been 4 days since anybody has heard from her, so there's very good reason for them to be worried. First to arrive is University Police. They interview all the friends that are there at the apartment. After hearing the series of events, they realize that they are in way over their heads, and they decide to call Macon Police Department. So, June 30th at 12:52 a.m., an officer from the Macon Police Department arrives. He and the friends search the apartment and the complex until 3 a.m. After not finding anything, the officer leaves. On June 30th at 9 a.m., an official investigation into Lauren's disappearance is launched. 2 detectives show up to secure the scene. They didn't have to be there very long before they smelled the foul odor coming from the garbage bins by the complex. Because these were seasoned detectives, they knew that smell. It is said that the smell of decomposition is something that you know immediately and you never forget. The detectives begin searching the trash cans. Inside, they find a woman's torso, dressed only in a pair of jogging shorts, and wrapped in a black garbage bag. Stephen McDaniels does an interview with reporters, okay, on the morning of June 30th. I'm going to play a piece of this for you. I want you to watch his demeanor completely change once the reporter tells him that they have found a body.
Being there?
Yeah, Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and no one's heard from her since.
Did you see her hang out with anyone at the time, anything like that?
I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I mean, you always hear noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and I were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see her?
I mean, she's as nice as can be. I mean, very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. I mean, the only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but I mean, she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. I mean, the door was locked when everyone got here. I mean, we just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
Crazy, right? Pick up on that? The following day, Thursday, is garbage day. Because of all the police presence, the garbage is never picked up. If it had been picked up and taken to the landfill, who knows if they ever would have found the torso. Detectives begin the investigation by asking residents if they can walk through their apartments. This was voluntary, and renters were within their rights to say no to the police. However, all residents were completely cooperative except for Stephen McDaniels, who was hesitant to let them in. Remember, friends, people have nothing to hide nothing. After officers let him know that everybody else was more than willing to let them in, Stephen says okay. But at this point, the damage is done. You're already on their radar because you're stupid. You're dumb. Sorry. The walkthrough finishes at approximately 1:40 p.m. At the conclusion of the walkthrough, investigators note they found a large knife, a samurai sword, a rifle, and 2 handguns in Stephen's apartment. And although none of this was illegal, it absolutely raised suspicions for police. Police brought cadaver dog... Police brought cadaver dog... Oh my God, I can't get this out. Next, police bring in cadaver dogs to pick up scents. Dogs alerted officers to outside Lauren's apartment, Lauren's bedroom, the apartment below Lauren's, the apartment complex's shared laundry room, outside Stephen's apartment, and Stephen's bedroom. Given the array of weapons in Stephen's apartment and the cadaver dogs picking up on the scents in and around Stephen's apartment, Stephen is brought in for questioning that lasts about 2 hours. At some point during the police interviews, Stephen admits to stealing condoms from one of the apartments. On July 1st, they used this as a way to keep Stephen locked up by charging him with 2 counts of burglary and denying him bail.
I'm asking you as a friend for help. Can you help me?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You can't help a friend out?
I don't know what you need.
I need to know where Lauren's at.
I don't know.
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Have you ever seen anybody over her house the last couple nights?
No.
Okay. If you knew where she was, would you tell me?
Yes.
What do you think happened to her?
I don't know.
Do you even care that no one can find her?
Yes.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Did you think Lauren was your girlfriend?
No.
I mean, who would do something to somebody and throw them in a trash can?
I don't know.
I'm asking for your advice or your observation. Who in your complex would do something like that? You lived over there for 3 years. Tonight's the first night I think I've ever been over there. In your expert opinion, of all your knowledge of going through law school and all that, who in that complex do I need to talk to?
I don't know.
And what?
And that we hadn't found her.
And what else did they ask you?
I don't remember.
Why don't you remember?
I don't.
You're telling me that you went through law school. Well, you went through college first, right? Did you graduate from college?
Yes.
And now you're in law school. Did you graduate from law school?
Yes.
But you don't fucking remember what they asked you this afternoon?
No.
Huh? I just don't fucking believe that shit.
If you had to guess, what would you, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times what?
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2? See, if I had only been somewhere twice, I could remember that. If I had been there over 50 times and you asked me how many times, I'd be like, I don't know, a lot. But the fact that you've only been there twice, when I say how many times you've been there, you say you don't know, that's just odd to me. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
That does make sense. So what I'm saying right now makes sense.
No.
Do you drink at all? Do you drink beer?
No.
You know, we have to go to our best resources when we're trying to do anything. You know, it's kind of like the guy who wants to get his oil changed, he goes to Jiffy Lube. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for Lauren, and you said you were her friend. Aren't you her friend?
Yes.
Y'all good friends?
Yes.
How good of friends are y'all?
We're friends.
Like, how good of friends?
I don't understand.
You don't understand? You don't understand how good of friends y'all are?
I don't understand what you're asking.
How good of friends are y'all?
We're friends.
Are y'all close friends? Are y'all just acquaintances? Y'all study? How good of friends are y'all?
We're friends.
Are y'all really good friends?
I don't know.
You don't know? How do you not know if you're not a really good friend? Let me ask you this. Maybe you're saying that because you don't know how she feels about you. How do you feel about her? Do you consider her a really good friend?
She's a friend.
But not a really good friend?
I don't know.
You don't know? How do you not know?
I don't know what you mean by really good.
Are y'all really close?
No.
No, you're not?
No.
So you never told her any of your personal business?
No.
She ever tell you any of hers?
No.
You ever see her upset?
No.
She was always a happy person, wasn't she?
Yes. No.
Yes, you have, Stephen. Yes, you have. When you say you don't know when the last time you cleaned your bathroom is, that's a lie. When you say you don't know the last time you saw her coming in and out of her apartment, or you don't notice whether or not she comes in and out, that's another lie. Your door's only a few feet from hers. You've told some lies in this interview, Stephen. Without a doubt. When was the last time you did laundry?
A few weeks ago.
You ain't washed clothes in a few weeks?
Yeah.
Why?
I have a lot of clothes.
No, you don't. That's another lie. That's right. That's 3 lies, Stephen. You don't have a lot of clothes.
Yes, I do.
Nope. You got enough underwear to last you 3 weeks?
Yes.
Do you wear the same pair of underwear more than one day?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's still clean enough to wear.
Stephen, I appreciate you coming down here today and talking to us, okay? I appreciate you cooperating with us and helping us along. But you've lied to me about at least 3 things in this interview. And people don't lie unless they got something to hide. Why would you lie to me, Stephen?
I didn't lie.
Sure you did. You said you don't even notice when she comes in and out of her apartment. That's a lie, Stephen.
I said I didn't remember the last time.
Have you ever watched her go in her apartment?
No.
You've never... How long y'all been neighbors?
3 years.
3 years. And you've never watched her walk through her front door?
Yes.
5 seconds. I said, you ever watched her walk into her apartment? You said no. So I'm going to ask you again. Have you ever watched her walk into her apartment?
Yes.
When was the last time?
A long time ago.
How long?
Before graduation.
It's been that long. And you graduated when?
In May.
While in jail, officers obtained a search warrant for Stephen's apartment, and the laundry list for suspicious items obtained is rather overwhelming, including, but not limited to, 2 handguns, a rifle, rope, 4 baseball bats, a bayonet, a chain mail vest, a camera, a laptop, a cell phone, an external card drive and memory card reader, receipts, including one from Walmart that is dated June 23rd, 2011, a green scrub sponge, 2 keys, and a journal. They also search Stephen's car, where they find dark stains that look like dried blood, and they take samples of it. They serve Stephen with a search warrant for samples of his DNA, fingernail scrapings, and to take photos of him. July 6, 2011. Detectives hold a press conference to confirm that the torso in the garbage can is indeed Lauren Giddings. Between July 20th and July 21st, police conducted several more searches of Stephen's apartment and collect additional items, including a Sony PlayStation 3 and a PS2, a Microsoft Xbox gaming system with accessories, compact discs, more memory sticks and memory cards, 2 adults magazines, a pair of women's underwear that had Lauren's DNA on it, and packaging for a Stanley hacksaw. The memory sticks were searched by forensic experts, and they found 52 inappropriate pictures of children on them. Sicko. A search of Stephen's laptop yielded deeply disturbing internet searches, including nude Lauren Giddings and PRN sites that included cannibal and dismemberment. June 30th, 2011, the day that Lauren's torso was found, Stephen searched how to permanently delete search history from a computer. I'm guessing he did not get the answers that he was looking for. Sorry. August 2nd, 2011. Police charged Stephen McDaniels with the murder of Lauren Giddings. August 3rd, 2011. Stephen appeared in court and pled not guilty to the charges. Prosecution would show evidence found, including, but not limited to, a hacksaw that was recovered at the laundry room at Barista's Hall, which, if you remember, was also one of the spots that the cadaver dogs hit on. One of the keys seized from Stephen's apartment turned out to be the master key to Lauren's apartment, which, if I had to guess, this is how this goes down. He knew that Lauren kept a spare key outside, and he took it, copied it, and put it back before she ever knew, which is also what her friends used to access her apartment that day. I know I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Give a spare key to somebody that you trust inexplicably to hold on to in case of emergencies. Don't leave your key outside. Just don't. It's dangerous. I get the convenience of it is awesome, but it's dangerous, clearly. Shortly after Lauren's torso is found, an ex-roommate of Stephen's calls police to let them know that Stephen has told him on several occasions that he could commit the perfect murder and get away with it. August 23rd, 2011, Stephen was charged with 7 counts of child PRN for the pictures on the memory stick. February 21st, 2013, prosecutors announced that they would not be seeking the death penalty. April 21st, 2014, in a shocking twist, Stephen McDaniels changes his plea to guilty for the death of Lauren Giddings. As part of the plea deal, if Stephen gave account of exactly what happened that night, prosecutors would drop the burglary and the child PRN charges. Okay, ready? Here we go. Sunday, June 26, 2011. At around 4:30 a.m., wearing a mask and gloves, Stephen enters Lauren's apartment with the master key he had previously made. He insists that he did not R-word her. He says he watched her sleep until a creak in the floor woke her up. When she saw him standing over him, she yelled at him, "Get the F out." That's when Stephen says he jumped on her bed, put his hands around her neck, and strangled her. After, he placed her in the bathtub and went back into his apartment. He stayed in his apartment for the entire day on Sunday before returning back to Lauren's apartment at around midnight wielding a hacksaw. We all know where this is going. The hacksaw was found in the laundry room. He then put her parts in garbage bags and placed them in separate garbage cans around the complex, the law school campus, and across the street from the apartment complex. Stephen McDaniel was sentenced to life in prison with the earliest possibility of parole being 2041. August 6, 2011, Lauren's family was finally able to hold a funeral service for her and to allow her to rest peacefully. Karen and Bill Giddings say the pain of losing their daughter will never go away. But her mother insists that she will not let the horrific things that happened to her daughter take away from the beautiful memories that she has with her. I think that's sweet. I do. It's really sweet. Having been together for 4 years, it was David's plan to propose to Lauren, but sadly, he never got that chance because it got ripped away from him by this loser. Goofy loser. Sorry. A year after her passing, he told a local news station, quote, "It's been hell. Nothing's really changed. Time, as people say, heal all wounds. If it does, it hasn't begun yet. It's been a mix of heartache and anger. End quote. Okay, guys, if you're still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all so much. I truly appreciate it. If you have not liked, subscribed, or commented yet, please consider doing so. It really helps me out, and I really, really, really appreciate it. If you have any case suggestions, please email me, harding527@yahoo.com. As long as the information is on my side, I'm really good about covering your cases for you. And until next time, stay safe out there, and I love you all.